Okay, okay. Woo! 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 Recording the fan fiction for the internet. Meow. Yes, it is finally here. Next, a new fucking fanfiction after so much time trying to get a new microphone. I finally got one. I've been testing around with it. It should work well. And today, we are reading a fan requested one. Who requested it? I don't remember. With that said, the after school special. Let's play a game. Rarity won't be back for a while. I've got a game we can play. Written by your antagonist. Warning / disclaimer. The following story contains depictions of sexual acts between two consenting minors. If you don't like it, well, shit. I can't do anything for you. If you don't like it, use lotion so you don't shave. So, some friendly advice from the author right there. Let's get started, shall we? The fire and brimstone that filled the streets of New Trottingham told the story of a city under siege. Where the bedlam had died down, scores of fallen knight and slain demons had taken its place. Their war-torn bodies blazed a trail that led all the way to Trottingham Palace, where the next chapter of this conflict was preparing to unfold. By the way, I should probably mention that I haven't read this, so I have no bloody idea what's going on. So if you're clueless, I'm clueless. Amidst the carnage and mayhem stood a wicked, twin-headed beast with the body of a pony. On the left half of its body, the fur ran yellow and ended in a blood-red club-like tail. In a symmetrical contrast, the right half was covered in orange fur, like its counterpart, and ended in an unruly purple tail. The palace shook as the beast stomped ever closer to a carving ball hidden behind the throne that stood adamantly in the center of the room. Well, well, well. Princess Sweetie Belle. It looks like there's no escape for you this time. Now surrender your kingdom to us, or suffer our wrath. Demanded the purple-named head of the Chimera. Maned head. Sweetie Belle backed away from the twin-headed beast, only to trip over the helmet of a late member of her security detail. She looked into the cold, merciless eyes of her attacker, and the blood in her veins turned to ice. She'd seen what this thing had done to her cars and service staff, and she knew that if she didn't comply to their demands, it would do the same to her. In that instant, she panicked. Some pony! Any pony! Help me! Excuse me while I take a drink. Better. The creature cackled maniacally at the princess's pleas for assistance. You're only wasting your breath, princess. We eliminated every knight foolish enough to challenge us. There's no pony left to help you now, spoke the left head. A regal and bold voice from behind and pierced through the tension, immediately drawing the monster's attention. On the hand, the princess, you fiends are... I don't know. Let her go! Rose bitch gonna get slapped. Who? And who's gonna make us? I am. Da 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 da! A small armor-clad knight stumbled unsteadily into view. And just who in the hell are you supposed to be? Asked the left head of the Chimera. I am Sir Pipsqueak, the valiant, brave knight of the sea. And your worst enemy, foul beast. Now get away from the princess before you taste my blade. Did you hear that, Apple Bloom? This shrimp is going to stop us. Ooh, I'm so scared, Scoots. By the way, I don't know why, but I can't help but call Scootaloo Scoots. Maybe that's a hint to the next story. Yes, it is. Apple Bloom said with mock fear listening her voice. Whatever shall we do? Scootaloo rolled her eyes, placed a foreleg to her forehead, and feigned a swooning spell, expecting her partner to play off her synergy. This guy's got me quaking in my little horseshoes. Maybe we ought to run away with our tails between our legs. I'd be most appreciative if you did that. Thanks. Pipsqueak. Said Pipsqueak, who was uncertain as to whether the monster was serious or not. Apple Bloom chuckled at Pipsqueak, while Scootaloo castigated him for his naivety. Ha! That chancer shrinks a lot. We'll make short work of you, and then we'll make you and the princess our slaves. Our sex slaves? I mean, what? I mean, I'm 9, and what is sex? Yeah, no, not really. Now prepare yourself. Both Apple Bloom and Scootaloo leaned their necks behind the respective sides of the amalgamated body and drew two massive axes from their mouths. Come get some, shorty. Where did they put those? And how are they talking? You can do it, Pipsqueak. I believe in you. Just do your best. Sweetie Belle cheered from behind her captors. Yeah. Pipsqueak swallowed the lump that began to form in his throat, and hesitantly drew his sword with his teeth, brandishing the glistening blade at his feral opponent. He could back down now, but something in the back of his mind told him he was horribly outmatched. Oh, you think? You're just, like, 2? I don't know who he is, but he looks really tiny and young. But he's adorable, so. It would take a miracle for him to defeat this slowly approaching monster. Goliath and the Giant. If you've got the stones, you can take him down. Ned Flanders. However, he didn't have a miracle. He had 5 seconds and 99 problems that would permanently be resolved by the massive incoming axe aimed at his head. Pipsqueak sidestepped the axe swipe and galloped while readying a swing of his own when at Scootaloo's half of the body, since he was still recovering from her earlier strike. With a mighty twist of his neck, his blade soared through the air and connected with the Chimera's flesh. But instead of deflecting his wound, his blade broke with a sickening rendering him defenseless. Looks at you, bro. Was that it? Scootaloo hissed at the defenseless knight. My sword! Well, I guess it's my turn then. I guess this is the end of the road for you, huh, Pipsqueak? Bloom bit down her axe and brought it down with as much force as she could muster. Pipsqueak! I'm probably just going to call him Pip from now on. I don't know. I don't like the name Pipsqueak. Sweetie Belle cried as she watched the axe head fall ever closer to the final hope for her kingdom. Pips shut his eyes and made peace with himself as he anticipated the searing, crushing pain that would ensue once the axe made contact. And yet, no harm came to pass. He waited a few more seconds before opening his eyes. When he opened them, he discovered that the Chimera's axe was being held at bay by 3 ethereal equine figures. One of which was blue in appearance, while the other was orange. However, a massive white corporal mare presided over both, and this one was decidedly more regal than the other 2 spirits. The orange spirit holding Applebloom's axe began to speak. Applebloom, the time has come. Oh, God. Applebloom, the time has come. The phantasm holding Scootaloo's tail followed her counterpart's lead. Come on, Squirt, your parents asked me to full sit you for tonight, and I'm going to give you some flying lessons. How did I not realize that? God damn it, I'm retarded. Simultaneously, both spirits began to pull away from each other, and with a flash of light, the Chimera was torn in two, and the decrepit war-torn palace began to peel away, the toppled pillars dissolving to become mannequins and rolls of fabric. The fallen knights resuming their forms as toppled over mannequins and all the grand creatures in the room, the spirits and the Chimera, lost their fantastical allure as the facade broke away, leaving mares and fillies and a very confused Pip in its wake. I apologize to anyone who would have taken offense to that voice. If it makes it any better, I also swing that way. I mean, what? You heard nothing. Aw, come on, sis. Me and Scootaloo were getting ready to take over the kingdom of New Trottenham. Can't this wait? Sorry, Applebloom, but I told you, we're going to Appaloosa to help Brayburn out with the yearly buffalo offering. As Applejack spoke, her sister's face began to sag into a disheartened frown. Applejack quickly noticed and seized Applebloom in a tight embrace and began scruffing up the filly's mane. And besides, I'm going to need my star apple catcher there to make sure that not a single apple gets bruised hitting the ground. Almost instantly, Applebloom's soggy meaner performed a complete 180, which began giggling giddily as Applejack began to tickle her. Baby, I was tickling you, Vegeta. Yeah, I know. Better. It's been so long since I last read. I have to take drinks every once in a while. Come on, let's get going, little sis. Thanks for letting her stay over while I was out, Rarity. Applejack said as she ushered her sister out the door. It was no problem at all. Now go on and you'll be late for your train. In stark contrast to Applebloom's initial attitude, Scootaloo was outright starstruck by Rainbow Dash. Wow, my parents really got you to full sit me for tonight, Rainbow Dash? That's right, Squirt. Tonight you get to hang out with me. I don't like Rainbow Dash. I'm sorry. Rainbow Dash proclaimed proudly, before skipping Scootaloo and placing the filly back on her back. I'm going to teach you some basic hovering drills, and then I'm going to show you how the basics manipulate rain clouds afterwards. You're so awesome, Rainbow Dash. Yeah, I know. She's not very modest, is she? Rainbow Dash began flexing and stretching her wings to compensate for Scootaloo's extra weight as she prepared for takeoff. Oh yeah, thanks for watching Scootaloo for me, Rarity. You're very much welcome, Rainbow. In an instant... An instant, Rainbow Dash flopped her wings, raced out the door with a rainbow trail streaking behind as she flew off in the sunset. Dash, Rarity concluded flatly with a sigh and a flick of her hair. She turned to face Sweetie Belle and Pip. Sweetie Belle, I thought I made it clear to you that I was to meet a gentle stallion for dinner this evening. I know, and I won't be here to watch you both, but you certainly cannot come along, Pip. I'm afraid that you'll have to go home. Aw, come on, Rarity. I'll be bored tonight if I'm home alone, though. Just let him stay a little longer. Sweetie Belle, please. Sweetie will flash the most innocent look at her in emerald green eyes could possibly muster. It was a particular gaze she had perfected in order for her parents to bend to her will. But this would be her first time testing on her sister. I said, please, 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 please. Sweetie pleaded, increasing the adorability levels of her stare to critical. There was no pony in her right mind who could possibly say no to her at this stage, and Rarity was no exception. It's too adorable, I tell you. I'm going crazy. Well, I already am crazy, so I have no problems. Ugh. Rarity managed to break eye contact with her sister. Sweetie Belle's charms finally broke through the iron-walled bastion that was Rarity's stance on the matter. Fine, he can stay, but I want him home no later than 10 o'clock. It's 7 now, and I'll be home late. Do you understand me, Sweetie Belle? Yes, sis. Sweetie Belle bounded over to her sister and began nuzzling against Rarity's legs. In response, Rarity rolled her eyes. She was like a cat. A cat. And I know that for a fact, because my cat, well, he doesn't do that, but he likes to sit in my face while I'm sleeping. That sounds really wrong. I hate everybody who thinks of that wrongly. Except for you. You know who you are. You're that one guy who's cool. Alright, I'm leaving now. There's food in the kitchen. And just remember, if you break anything in my store... Rarity glared daggers at the children before resuming her instruction. I know where you live. I will find you. Slowly but surely, the fashionista walked backwards through the entrance of the boutique, never taking her glare off the kids. Terrifying. The moment the door shut behind Rarity, Sweetie Belle turned her attention to Pipsqueak, whose tail was wagging with fervent excitement, and a thought crossed her mind. She was a filly, and Pipsqueak was a colt. She could finally play the game that Rarity was always set to her to bed early for when she bought a stallion over. Oh dear God! She watched Rarity play it once or twice with many other stallions, and contemplated trying it out with Bloom and Scootaloo. But seeing as she had a colt at her disposal and a house to herself, this would be one opportunity she couldn't afford to waste. Hey Pip, do you want to play a game? She asked slyly. Sure. What do you want to play? Tag? Pirates? Oh, I know. Hide and go seek. Nope. None of those. Sweetie Belle saw she was losing his interest and decided to go with a sales pitch that would prey on his easily piqued curiosity. Don't worry, though. I've got a different game in mind. I don't think you've ever played it before. What game? Pipsqueak asked, uncertainly shying away from the filly. Come upstairs with me and you'll find out. With that, Sweetie Belle took a page from her sister's book and began trotting to the staircase, her tail swaying behind her suggestively. Oh my. She had no idea what the gesture was implying, but if it worked for Rarity, it would probably work for her too. She turned to see if her ploy was working, and much to her delight, a confused Pip was only a few hoof steps behind, his mind abuzz with curiosity regarding what Sweetie Belle had in mind. Little did he know that she was as clueless about the subject as he was. Making good time. For the time being, he allowed his imagination to take over as he fell back into a fantasy world of his own design in order to get himself into the right mindset for whatever she had in mind. The white walls and carpeted floors of the boutique began to peel away, leaving warped cobblestone and aged stone steps in their place. For this was Skyrim. Okay. The lights in the hallways transformed into simple torches of a crude and ancient design that provided flickering yet fickle illumination through the hallways as he followed Princess Sweetie Belle through the archaic tower. This works way too well. It works way too well. The princess, where are we going? To my sister's bedchambers. There we shall discuss this matter further. Be patient, Sir Pip. All will be explained soon. Ah, see? Here we are. With a casual push, Sweetie Belle eased the elegant white door, which seemed out of place in this runic environment, open, revealing a curiously well-furnished room. Sweetie Belle slid inside with little hesitation. She was excited even, and Pip, seeing no reason to dawdle any further, followed suit. Once inside, he quickly became savvy to the fact that Sweetie Belle had vanished into a dimly lit room. Perhaps this was all part of a ploy. Pip was quickly put on edge when Sweetie Belle's voice cut through the tense silence he'd come to loathe in this short time span. Over here, Pipsqueak. He traced the source of her coup to a large four-poster bed that sat in the center of the room. He saw Sweetie Belle, who was still swishing her tail through the air suggestively, and began to trot towards her cautiously. What manner of trickery is this, princess? Trickery? Princess? What are you talking about? Sure, I want to play a game. Since you're here, we can begin. Now, come on up. Jesus Christ. The fantasy world Pipsqueak had constructed in his mind began to fall apart, revealing the dimly lit ivory walls of Rary's bedroom, and the impatient filly lying at her side awaiting his arrival. Pip, now freed from his imagination, leapt out of the bed to join Sweetie Belle, but his relatively short, attention span drove him to pose more questions. Well, what do we do next? This doesn't seem like a very fun game. I worry for how this will end. I really do. Man, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, wait. It's crap. Why do I say that? I probably just jinxed myself, didn't I? I don't know. I haven't read this. Sweetie Belle giggled playfully at his impatience. Oh, Pip, don't worry. We're about to fix that very soon. Now just lay down and let me take it from there. From here. Whatever. Cocking an unsure eyebrow, Pip did as he was told. A moment later, he could feel Sweetie Belle shifting around on the mattress, drawing ever closer to him. His nerves were on high alert, and he almost jolted away when she placed a gentle hoof on his thigh, giggling to herself as she did so. Relax, Pip. I haven't even done anything. Now, what was it that Rarity does at this point? Sweetie Belle gave Pipsqueak's body once over before locating what she suspected to be the main event of this evening. Aw, it's so cute. Jesus Christ. Cute? What are you? Pip's eyes widened suddenly as she felt Sweetie Belle's hoof brush across. What are you doing? What Rarity does when she plays this game with other stallions. Now hold still. Sweetie Belle, I don't think we should... Sweetie Belle, I don't think we should be... Fuck, I lost track. Another jolt of electricity causing Pipsqueak's eyes to roll back in ecstasy shot through his body as Sweetie Belle seized her prize with both hooves, gave his leg a slow, deliberate lick. Oh, yeah. Boom, boom. She had effectively silenced him with a little voice in the back of his mind that kept telling him what he was doing wrong with that single action. Do you want me to stop? Sweetie Belle asked before giving his slowly growing member another long, sloppy lick, eliciting more sparks that shot through Pip's spine, forcing his eyes to shut. Entranced by the sensation of the tongue, Pip could no longer hear the little voice of reason that had been holding back. I guess not. Well then, let's continue, shall we? She was emulating her sister almost verbatim at this point, making a show out of everything she did. Especially now, where she began poking and exploring with her tongue. Bow wow. She found the experience to be very similar to eating a melting ice cream cone, Jesus Christ, and began to work her tongue in a swirling pattern to simulate such an experience. Pip, however, was far too distracted by the foreign pleasure that ripped through him at the moment to appreciate Sweetie Belle's theatrics. Couldn't possibly have get any better than this, he thought to himself. Little did he know that Sweetie Belle's curious lips aimed to prove him wrong as they began to glide slowly down his fully erect shaft, enveloping him in the moist warmth of her mouth's embrace. Amazing how much this changed, isn't it? I mean, I'm surprised. But whatever. The pleasure was finite and fleeting, eliciting heavy groans from its recipient. However, for when she began her ascent, the comfort of her mouth began to dissipate. But like a piston, she shot back down, returning twice as much pleasure as the first time, but also twice as much pain. Pipsqueak reluctantly jerked his hips away from Sweetie Belle's open mouth, but self-preservation came first in this instant. Ouch! You bit me! Sweetie Belle panicked as Pipsqueak began to chastise her for the mistake. I'm sorry, Pip. I didn't mean it. Honest. I just thought it would make you feel better if I used my teeth. Give me another chance? Sweetie Belle pleaded. Well, he wasn't going to deny her the opportunity to try again. The pleading, apologetic look in her eyes compelled him to make the decision faster. Just don't do it again, okay? You have to cross 4 legs. All right, I promise. Without hesitation, she leaned down and took him into her mouth once again and began bobbing up and down using a slow, steady rhythm. Oh, If you get to study Pipsqueak's reaction to her own movements, taking note that he moaned louder when she descended from his zenith, and that using her tongue made him fidget and twitch uncontrollably. Sweetie Belle, don't stop. It feels so good. Reunited and it feels so good. He managed to huff between grunts of frustrated delectation. Fuck my knee. I don't know what I did, but I fucked my knee. Fucking hurts like a bitch. Regardless, Sweetie Belle grinned to herself and increased her speed. However, she didn't realize how much of an effect that would have on Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak felt an unfamiliar swelling from the bottom of his loins begin to grow and overtake every other perception of his body. As Sweetie Belle evolved faster and faster, the feeling became more and more intense, until finally an explosion erupted through within him, releasing waves upon pleasure, and feeling absolute Elysium overcame him as he released himself into Sweetie Belle's mouth. In response, yep, I went there. Sweetie Belle, on the other hoof, was having a much less enjoyable experience as a massive stream of salty low plaster plastered the inside of her mouth, causing her to cough and choke slightly. Pip, what the hey? She shrieked, her voice cracking slightly as she wiped Pip's essence from her mouth. I didn't know what was going to happen. I swear it. Besides, you're the stupid bitch who came up with this idea. Okay, he didn't say that, but I can imagine him saying that. I don't know why. Sweetie Belle sighed and shook her head. It's alright, it was my fault besides. She turned around and lifted her tail upwards, presenting herself to squeak. It's your turn. Pip nervously swallowed the lump that began to rise in his throat. My turn? Sweetie Belle nodded in reply. That's right. After Rarity does that to the stallion, they always do the same thing in return. So it's your turn. Reluctantly, Pip moved forward, even if he was shy about doing it. He did have to return the favor. It was only proper. He stopped 4 inches away from Sweetie Belle's filly parts, and cocked his head to the side curiously. He had no idea what he was looking at. Don't they teach you sex ed in Ponyville? Because, kind of a basic thing. So, what do I do? I don't know. If you're supposed to lick it or something, you figure it out. There's something done. Oh my god. This is just... Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to say. I really don't. He grumbled under his breath. Pip leaned forward cautiously yet curiously and sniffed her filly hood. He was afraid that with it being so closely placed to another particular hole that... Oh, God. That there would be a terrible scent associated with it, but on contrast, he found the aroma to be rather pleasant and somewhat intoxicating. Pass the duchy to the left. Okay, no. Pip is now a Jamaican stoner, apparently. In my book, he is. He inched closer and experimentally stuck out his tongue, delicately brushing it against Sweetie Belle's lips. After tasting her sweetness, he was tempted to venture further in. He started by separating folds like a velvet curtain, before indulging himself in another tongueful of her essence. As he did so, a wave of delight began to spread through Sweetie Belle, causing her to jolt upright and shatter gleefully. As Pip continued his inexperienced assault, focusing not on technique or form, but rather immersing himself in form and flavor of the filly's love nectars. Huh. Okay. Oh, shit. 1 second. I gotta check something. Okay. Oh my. Okay. This is going to be a long story, apparently. I was checking how much more I had. It wasn't until his tongue glided over a meticulously paced bump on Sweetie Belle's palate that he got the biggest reaction out of her yet. Her head whipped backwards involuntarily, and a high-pitched squeal escaped her mouth as the most powerful surge of elation yet rocked her entire being. Are you sure that wasn't Kiss? I don't fucking know who sings that. I love rock. I don't fucking know. Pip took careful note of this, and focused his efforts on the same area, looking up from time to time in amusement as Sweetie Belle jerked and wiggled her before himself, biting her lip to stifle the moaning. But alas, something strange began to well up deep within her. It started out small, but it was definitely noticeable for Pipsqueak's relentless licking, and in time it grew and grew, driving her nerve endings to the point of insanity, forcing a loss of control over her body as she sank down and allowed Pip to ravage her. Then it happened. As if almost instantly her body tensed up. Her eyes clenched shut while she began convulsing, a loud whinny escaping as she roared out her first climax. Pip backed away from Sweetie Belle, observing the scene before him with mild panic. Like the majority of males, he had no clue about the wonderful phenomenon that had overtaken his partner. All the while, Sweetie Belle's convulsions began to dissipate, rendering her motionless as she lay prone and unmoving, reveling in the pure relaxation that flowed through her muscles. Pipsqueak panicked. Are you dead? Did I kill you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. What will I tell your sister? I don't want to be pinched to the moon. Pip's ranting ceased as he watched Sweetie Belle stir from her place, her stoic emerald green eyes dancing over to meet his frantic brown pair with her relatively nines. Sorry. Oh, Pip, that's so adorable. So, why are we sending him to the moon, guys? He gave this little filly an orgasm. You dirty bastard. Rolling her eyes and giggling, Sweetie Belle dismissed his odd behavior and laid down on her back, beckoning Pip closer with the wave of a hoof. Come over here. This is the last step in the game. I'm about to beat the high score, guys. Pip obeyed her command without delay. With every step he took, he could feel his arousal growing and elongating. Precisely what Sweetie Belle had hoped for. Are you sure you haven't done this before, sweetie? Are you sure about that? Those timidity... Is that a real fucking word? I know what timid is, but timidity? No, I don't fucking know. I was mostly calm. He hesitated a moment before closing the distance. A little voice of reason had surfaced from the depths of his mind momentarily before he pushed it back down and mounted Sweetie Belle. You fucking retard's gonna get her pregnant! Why are you doing this? I can imagine it saying something like that. So, what next? He asked. I think he's supposed to put that... She pointed at his emboldened protrusion inside of me. Pip's face flashed a fierce shade of red as contemplating and cuts for joining pleasure centers with Sweetie Belle. Are you sure this will fit? I don't know, but let's find out. Nice. Sweetie Belle sat up and wrapped her forelegs around Pipsqueak's neck, drawing him closer to herself as she lay back down and wrapped her hind legs around his waist. Put it in. Alright. Pip cautiously and carefully moved over his hips around, poking and prodding at Sweetie Belle's silly hood in a blind attempt to invade her. Invader Zim? I don't fucking know. It only took a few more failed attempts before Sweetie Belle finally became agitated. Will you hurry up and put it in already? Put it in already? Oh, fuck no. Her voice cracked into a slightly higher pitch as she gripped. I'm sorry, but this is hot. Pipsqueak's sentence slowed up into a low rent as his tip finally hit its mark, and in a matter of seconds, it was slowly enveloped in our moist heat. Nice. Sweetie Belle likewise yelped as she felt Pipsqueak slide in slowly. But it was not bliss and enjoyment that comprised her outburst, but rather pain. She tensed her grip around Pipsqueak's neck and clenched her eyes tightly. Pip was quick to notice the sudden shift in her partner's demeanor, and stopping in his advancing concern for her well-being. Sweetie, are you all right? Should I stop? She shook her head to decline his offer and said, No, I want this, but please, Pip, keep going. I need to be the high score. I don't fucking know. She looked up at him with her wide-eyed, pleading eyes, and in that moment, something about seeing Sweetie Belle's beg caused Pip's blood temperature to elevate, and his hips pressed forward on their own, further immersing him into her being. You know, I gotta say, that I'm actually impressed. For once, it, shows that a virgin actually feels, pain the first time she has sex, instead of many other plot fics that I've read is like, oh my god, this is the most phase for you ever, No, but it's probably not like that. I don't know, because I've never had sex. And I'm not a girl. Ironic thing about me saying that is, many young children had to ask me if I was a girl at one point. They still do. It's kind of awkward. With each inch she delved into her, the pain began to slowly fade away, leaving no trace that it had ever been there, and a new feeling took gradually its place. That sounds about right. As Pip drew himself away, Sweetie Belle emanated another moan, this one louder than the last. He threw himself forward into her depth again, slowly becoming comfortable with the rhythmic motions that her body demanded of him. He experimentally threw himself forth a few more times, all the while soaking in every last detail of experience. He focused his attention on her face again, using her expressions and body language to show how well he was doing. Wow, wow. Her eye movements were unfocused and frantic, her lids opening and closing for seconds at a time, searching around the room, studying Pip, her tongue lolled out of her mouth, retreating back ever so often that she could bite her lip inside contentedly. Her forehooves fell from around his neck and seized a nearby pillow that she bit down upon, muffled some more embarrassing squeals as he continued to grind inside of her. So good so far. I believe the term is so far so good. Whatever. Came as a surprise to him when Sweetie Belle threw the pillow across the room, seized his head, and pulled his lips down to meet her own, a warmth spreading from her mouth to his own as they shared in each other's first kiss. Amazing. They lose their virginity before they kiss. Before they have their first kiss. Just, damn. It was long before Sweetie Belle began to explore the inside of Pip's mouth, caressing and massaging his tongue with her own. As she hummed in time with each of his thrusts becoming more and more powerful. And more focused by the moment. Pip broke the kiss, his teeth gritted as she sensed that wonderful release from earlier building up in his loins. Sweetie Belle, I think, then I'm going to explode again. Me too, she whined for the abuse. Wait. Me too, she whined for the abuse. So, that sounds bad. I can't. Pip winced as a jolt shot through his member. I can't hold it. Then just go. I can feel mine coming too. Ow. No. Ow. Ow. No. Ow. Ow. What? Oh, fucking no. Sweetie Belle lost control of her voice as her own orgasm took her away from the world of rational thought and proper pronunciation. So she's turning into apple blue? Pipsqueak wasn't too far behind as he released himself into her as well. The pleasure met in the middle and spilled upon the bed, but neither cared to put any attention to it as their joint climax allowed them one last glance at each other before the intensity forced the vision to fade away in a haze of colors neither had ever seen before. Are they fucking high or something? That doesn't even make sense! Whatever. Once her orgasms died down, Pip rolled off of Sweetie Belle, threw her forelegs around Pipsqueak. I don't fucking know. And quickly pecked him on the cheek before nuzzling into his coat. Thanks, Pip, she said quietly before going limp still. Pip, on the other hand, had been bothered by something the whole time they'd been intimate. Say, Sweetie Belle, that was really fun. And I all but have a question. Who wins the... She mumbled from her last date. Who wins the game? God! Nice, Pip. Sweetie Belle thought about it for a moment, but found she couldn't come up with an answer. It was at that moment that Tifa's grin began to crawl across her face. I don't know, maybe we'll just have to play again. We've got 2 more hours. Well, alright, but... Sweetie Belle recovered quickly and stood over him. And this time, I want to be on top. Pip swallowed nervously. It was going to be a long 2 hours. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. Shh, you have to be quiet or you'll wake my sister. Rarity whispered to her date as she crept up the stairs to her room. Oh, god damn it. Fuck. This couldn't go really well, I'm sure. Rarity whispered to her date as she crept up the stairs to her room. Sweetie Belle's room was further down the hall, but sound carried very well in the building for some odd reason, and Sweetie Belle was a somewhat light sleeper. As Rarity reached the top of the stairs, she noticed that the light to her room was on. The door was jarred slightly. I can't be right. She's supposed to be asleep right now. What could she possibly be doing up at this hour? I love how I make Rarity sound British, but I can't make Pip sound British. To anybody who is in England or wherever you may be with that sort of accent, I really do apologize. I am terrible at accents. Whatever. Rarity moved closer to the door, her date following curiously, and she could hear giggling from inside. Inching ever closer, she could hear the sounds of children playing. Yarg, who be the greatest pirate of the equestrian sea? You are Captain Sweetie Belle. Oh, dear. Wait. You are Captain Sweetie Belle, ma'am, Pip shouted. Rarity chuckled to herself as she nudged the door open for her horn and began to trot inside to prepare Pip to go home. All right, Sweetie Belle, it's time for you to say goodbye to Pip. You're the greatest pirate. You're the greatest pirate. Oh, God. As Pip grunted as Sweetie Belle continued to grind up and down on his shaft. Oh, God. Both completely oblivious to Rarity's opening statement, but they certainly heard what she said next. What in the equestrian are you doing? Sweetie Belle turned around, looked at her sister dead in the eye, and said simply, beating your high score. Fucking epic. That's the end of the story. I can see why the guy wanted me to read it. My opinion, surprisingly very well written. Not that long. And it was funny. I had a good time. And fuck, this is almost 40 minutes long. I hope this turned out well. If it didn't, then I'm gonna have to choke a bitch. Anywho, if anybody has any story requests, by the way, for the one person who wants me to get to phone around 2, doing that right after this, I promise. It will be awesome. I am looking forward to it. So, any questions for me? I might make a video just kind of like about me, just because I'm bored. I don't know. Because now I have a webcam. I can do that kind of thing. So if you ever have any questions for me, if you ever have any fanfics you want me to read, leave them in the comments. Send me a private message. Don't care. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. Have a wonderful day or night or whenever the fuck you're hearing this. Peace.